How are we doing, diggers? Welcome to the shop, welcome to the YouTube channel, and yeah, it's lovely to be back. I've had a few days off, which is nice. I had 10 days in France, so it's really nice to get away. I did miss records a little bit, I must say, but yeah, so there's a lot to catch up on today, and I will try and keep it a little shorter. I've realised that our videos keep getting longer and longer. The last one from the loft things, if you've not seen those before, they're both up on the channel, but got to editing it and it was like 55 minutes long. Like I'm battling Christopher Nolan on the epicness scales of how long things are going. So I'll try and keep this one short. What we're going to look at today. So we are going to reflect on the soundtracks and the event we've had. We'll have a little look through that. While I've been away, loads and loads and loads of collections and records have been coming in. So we'll go through a few of those and we'll have a look. Just the general sort of collections that come in. Firstly though, I need to give an absolute huge thank you to Guy and Harry, who have worked absolutely tirelessly to get all these soundtracks done. So if you've not seen the last videos, we picked up nearly 900 soundtracks and we decided we were going to do an event to get them all out at the same time. They work really well, these events, because it puts all the collectors of that niche in one place, and all the records are there in one place and people really enjoy them, and we'll talk about that in a minute. It's a huge undertaking to prize that many records in just under 2 weeks, so well done to them. On to the event. I'll come over to this side so I can fill this bit of the screen with videos from the event. So I was reticent, and in those videos you can see I'm like, is this going to do well? Yes, there are some killer, brilliant, amazing soundtracks, big rarities in there, but there's loads and loads of really standard stuff as well, and there's loads of huge obscurities as well that in some cases were quite heavily priced because of their rarity, and then a load of stuff that is so dirt cheap, like £3. There's 3 boxes of £3, around £3 albums as well. So I was on the edge of my seat worried that we weren't going to make our investment back on this lot, because once the event's over, there'll only be a small trickle of people coming in for the soundtracks. You've got all your eggs in one basket, as it were. Anyway, we got to the morning and it was 9:20 and the first few people arrived and the queue began outside, and I was like, oh no. And then the queue went all the way around the block and I was like, oh dear, I have completely underestimated this. We opened the doors at 10 and people flooded in. It was phenomenal. So the response, thank you so much everyone for turning up. The wall behind me here was full of real goodies and it was gone within a minute, every record. So I filled it back up and that was gone in about 10 minutes. Phenomenal response, so thank you so much. And it's lovely to see the passion that collectors have, especially when something like this comes up. Lovely to see so many people chatting. At one point, we only had one card machine and the queue to pay was out the door, but it was so nice to see so many people chatting, going, oh, what have you picked up? What have you got? Lovely. So a raging success, really, really chuffed. So obviously it is a huge collection and we've still got a huge table full of stuff. This whole table is soundtracks still. So it is tricky now because we've done the big event, we've sold what everyone desperately wanted. Now we've just got a couple of weeks of hoping that we see a few more bits go. And it is quite tricky because all of the really, really, really cool stuff did go. Plenty of other stuff, do you know what I mean, if you're a soundtrack collector. So yeah, well worth a look if you're still into it. And the walls are still full of cool stuff. We've got some decent rarities and some interesting stuff. So that's the soundtracks. So shall we have a look at some of the records that have come in? Now we do have a slight problem in that we are literally jam-packed full of records right now. And as a business model, you need your records up on tables, on countertops. The records on the floor just don't get looked at as much. Now, some people, it depends what sort of digger you are, I suppose. Some people come straight in, go straight to the bottom because they know that there are usually some bargains and stuff down there. But on the whole, people like to be browsing at waist height, basically. And we've run out of table space. We don't have any more space. We're at a bit of a bottleneck in the, because we've got records absolutely everywhere, all jammed in. I don't know, I can't put a bigger table there. I can't put a big central table. I don't know. And we've got all of these here to somehow fit into our shops. We have got another shop, obviously, but that is full as well. We've got all of these here, they're going outside. And we've got the Kallax here. We've got all of these, absolutely all of these, and they go way back. These are all yet to be processed. We've got a couple of boxes there, and then all of this Kallax is relatively new in that we need to be sorting through. And we've got upstairs as well. So a bit of a pinch point at the moment where we want to be putting this out there for sale, but we don't have the room. But we love our shop and we're not moving anywhere, that's for sure. So yeah, but we can't say no. Well, I certainly can't say no to records when they come in, because you never know when you have a dry patch, when you have a spell that no records are coming in. So you have to take them while they're here. And we are incredibly lucky at the moment in the fact that so many people are coming in with record collections for us to look at. And I think a huge part of that is because we do push social media quite hard, and then people discover us, which is phenomenal. Oh, I've just found another 3 boxes here yet to be processed. So crazy times, but good problems to have. Let's look through this box here. This is the first box that we bought in. So box 1 is a box full, apart from that, that's a bit of an oddity, is a box absolutely rammed full of bread and butter, classic rocky sort of stuff, most of which we already have in many copies. I mean, what is a collection like this without Paul Young's No Parley? And as you see, loads of really cheapy stuff. Nothing wrong with this stuff. Look at that. That is a great record, a great introduction to soul. Another excellent pound bin title, Carpenters of Singles, phenomenal songwriting. A few bits and bobs here that probably, I'm expecting we're going to come across Phil Collins in this lot. Come on. I mean, surely. Rick Astley. Yeah, you get the drill. It's the pound bin, but we do not grumble at that. Our pound bin, all right, that's pretty cool. Georgia Payne. Our pound bin, we love, and we love getting that full to the brim with decent stuff. Grabbing the bargains out. So yeah, this lot is not in bad condition at all. But yeah, all your cheapies. And that's a bit of a running theme with all the collections that have come in, to be honest. This lot was in this lot as well. Okay, so I think at some point we've gone through and we've pulled out the better stuff. Oh my life, it's everywhere. The Birds. No Phil. Oh yeah, that's a classic. So that's a goodie to have. 80s press, Beatles. I think 78 press, Rubber Soul. And then this Iron Maiden was one of the reasons why we bought the collection. It's got a manufacturer's property not for sale on it. Now, does that really mean anything? Are there rolls and rolls of these stickers everywhere? Yeah, probably. Unless it says something on the label itself. I'll take those stickers with a pinch of salt, to be fair. Yeah, it might have been put on there by an executive, keeping it and sending it out to radio stations, but it's very unlikely. So there we go, collection number 1. Right, here we go. This was another wedge of records. Now, this guy lived in Korea. So when he was picking up records, when they first came out, he was buying them for Korea. Really interesting, a few of these. This takes out Brain Damage and Us and Them. So they're basically, they redacted those titles. They were banned in that country because they were anti-war and anti-establishment. So they got rid of them. That's cool. And yeah, there's a Tusk as well, which is usually a double, but in this case, it's only a single because they've got rid of loads of the songs. That again is a Korean press, nothing different about that one. This one, they put the title on just so you're not confused at what it is. Yeah, anyway, so a few bits in this collection. So they're all Korean presses, which have got a slightly textured sleeve to them, which is strange. Joni Mitchell there. And then we're onto this pile here, which was the same collection. Oh, not this one, actually. This one, I'm just going to do a video on. You'll have to watch it in our shorts or our reels or whatever they're called. The worst condition Led Zeppelin that still plays amazingly. So take a look at that video. Yeah, Korean stuff. More stuff here. There was some all right stuff. We've had every single collection has had Beatles in as well. And all pretty battered Beatles, sadly. More ELO. Not hugely interesting stuff. Again, these are Korean presses. So again, loads more bread and butter stuff. What we got there? We've got a misaligned apple there, which is cool. So a very early press of that. It's not in the greatest condition, sadly, you know, but still cool to have in. That's cool. Dark Horse, George Harrison. Again, that's a Korean press of that one. Thriller, Korean press again. So that's quite cool, having a massive classic album. Different. Anyway, fast forward this bit. Let's head off to see another collection. We had a small collection in of some repress stuff, which was some quite nice bits there. Those will go out and do okay, and then it gets into sort of second-handy stuff. Quite like that. Sly and the Family Stone. That's quite a nice thing to have. No one was buying it back in the day, though, were they? Damn. How is that possible? So yeah, that's nice. That's quite cool. Not hugely valuable at all. Isaac Hayes, it's a wicked album, that is. It's great fun. And a Prince album. Again, we had that Iron Maiden with the sticker on the back. This one as well, promo copy only. But there's no other markings on there that would tell you that it's a promo. So it's just a standard press with a sticker on. I don't know. So yeah, more standard run-of-the-millers here, as you can see. And another collection here. Now, I really do think it's like there's a theme. It's like everyone decided to bring the same collections in all at the same time. Very strange, because this is another collection very, very similar. Loads of low value, more ELO, loads of low value stuff. With a few goodies. That's the Who, isn't it? But it's ripped to pieces. Nothing hugely exciting. I mean, some great collection fillers here, and some classic albums, definitely, you know. But it's just sometimes with this stuff, it's just adding onto the many, many copies we already have. Which is cool, because they just slowly trickle out and slowly sell. That's fine. Another few Beatles bits. Again, not the nicest condition. That is the running theme in all of this, is that the Beatles have been heavily, heavily played. Although, another misaligned apple there. But again, not the greatest condition. Revolver there, that's definitely some sort of, French press Revolver. Again, not the greatest nick. Travelling Wilburys, everyone's always after that, so that will go quite quickly. Or it looks like we need to spin round now. Nice Disraeli Gears, classic album. A Neil Young greatest hits that I've not seen before. I've never seen that. Where's that from? New Zealand. A New Zealand Neil Young greatest hits. That's cool. Another Dire Straits. I think across these collections, there's 4 copies of Dire Straits. That's quite cool, isn't it? Original Terence Stamp. So with this, Terence Stamp is on the original, and then I don't know, that Terence Stamp's estate, or I'm not sure, didn't like it, so they didn't authorised the picture to be used. So Morrissey posed in exactly the same way. It's really good reproduction, because it's quite hard to tell the difference between Terence Stamp and Morrissey in those. So that's nice to have that. Talking Heads, more Stones. Who's next? Again, these are kind of... Oh, this is another collection then. Sorry. But you'd be fooled into thinking it was the same collection. Absolutely terrible condition, Let It Be. Probably the worst condition copy of Help I've ever seen. French copy again. The Beatles, Fab. Pound Bin. More Talking Heads, can't grumble at that. You get the idea. And then... And next up, we hit upon probably the worst collection we've had in a very long time. Don't bin it, box it. But in this case, should have binned it. I mean, we got 2 records out of this. We got a Thriller, which is in nice enough condition. And we got, I don't know, I think that's a 5th press Beatles Please Please Me. But, good Lord. Can't even get the record out of that one. It's stuck in. Don't even know what that is. Another Abbey Road, but completely wrecked. A Hard Day's Night, which again, can't actually get the record out because it's fused. Basically, there was a small leak in the loft, which meant that all the records and sleeves just all melted together. The records themselves are absolutely wrecked as well. So there's just no value in a collection like this. So I will, because they're classic albums though, so depressing to see all these in terrible condition. But it's just the way it goes sometimes. Yeah, it's just the way it goes. I'll stick these out in the free box. You know, maybe some will clean up for people to have. Again, this ELO is like crusted together. It's disgusting. I feel dirty even touching this lot. Absolutely grim. And then we've got 2 boxes here from a lovely gentleman. I bought his collection of around 3,000 records, and he gave me a call and he said, I've got about 300 more records that were at my holiday home, or his second home. And would you like them as well? And it's really cute because it's like a mini collection of his main collection. So yeah, we took that. Very kindly gave us these framed posters, the Let It Bleed poster, Miles Davis, which I'm sure that's from Jack Johnson, and Magic Bus sleeve. So yeah, and again, it's a really lovely collection. There's some great stuff in here. Condition is really varied. So there are a few bits that are in very poor condition, sadly. Again, very similar to the collections we've had in. You know, that classic rock and pop from the 70s, loads of Dylan. But yeah, a decent collection. I wish it was all in absolutely amazing condition. It seems like the albums that everyone wants have obviously been played more and more and are in less good condition. That is a 80s repress. But still, some really good stuff in this collection. But because we bought his collection about 2 months ago, we've still got, he had so much John Mayall. We've still got all of that in these boxes here that we've not even put out yet. So it is, like I said earlier, we're just stacking records on top of each other. Really nice copy of that with a few of the postcards, so that's good. That's single sleeve repress without all the gubbins. Original first press, so that's quite nice. Well done. He put a bit of a cardboard thing over the zip, which hasn't caused any problems with the rest. Well done. So yeah, nice sticky fingers, Let It Bleed. That's a US pressing. That's what the poster's from. Lou Reed. So yeah, you can see some classic stuff and some not so classic stuff as well. Cliff. Sorry, Cliff. That's all Stones. Miss You. Really hard to flip through. Get Your Yas out. I love that. That's such a good live album. Satanic with the lenticular sleeve, and what the great thing is, he's written down his own little grade in here, so I kind of can gauge what it's going to be like. Didn't do that for all of them, just the ones of more value. So yeah, you get the gist of this lot, Rodders. Onto the second box, like I say, Beatles in every collection. That's not a very nice copy, sadly. Nothing to write home about on the condition of these. The white album there is, that's nice enough. VG plus, not a low number though. Two Please Please Me's, just standardy 5th, 6th pressings. A couple of later pressings, but again, not the greatest condition. We're talking VGs across the board. A lot of these. Red vinyl one, that's good, let it be. Nice. This, yeah. Little bit of Miles Davis. Blind Faith, or more Disraeli Gears. More Miles Davis. There was a lovely copy of Kinda Blue, which is, oh, there it is. That's an early, I think it's a 60s press because it's CBS, 62 or something like that. It's a really nice copy of that. That's similar to my pressing at home, but that's in nicer condition, so that's going to come home with me. Loads of Bob Dylan, again. Again, conditions a bit varied on this lot. Some of it's lovely, some of it's not so good. There we go. Hope you've enjoyed that whistle stop tour of of all the records that have come in. I mean, that's about 2 weeks worth, and that is above average on the records coming through the door. But it isn't always the same sort of stuff like that. It's very rare that we get a collection that every single record is almost similar in every collection, but that's the way it goes. It would have been lovely to have a load of rare soul, or metal or jazz or anything else than endless ELO and Dire Straits, but biggest selling records of that time, and still super selling records of this time. So it's fine by us. Keep bringing those records to us. And thank you again for joining us and tuning in. I'm sure we'll have another video for you very soon of the interesting antics going on here at Vinyl Shakedown Records. So thank you guys. See you soon. Bye.